All right, so the last bit you have on this outline it says a New Deal, and then it kind of has a question mark, right? Because we've seen some possibilities for women in this New Deal. We've got Eleanor Roosevelt as First Lady. We've got Frances Perkins and Mary McLeod Bethune. But the New Deal also has some challenges. So the New Deal was a method of recovery. It does create reform, but that's not really its intention. Its intention was to help us get through the Great Depression. And so even though it creates some reform, it's really more about helping us recover. And so the first thing that you have on here, I put repatriation in quotation marks. This means a return to homeland. And I put it in quotation marks because this targeted people of Mexican descent. And, you know, as I noted in the lecture module, there's no way to indicate whether or not you're a United States citizen. You don't have, Social Security has just been created. Most people don't have driver's licenses, and most people don't even have a birth certificate. And so if you looked like you could be from Mexico and you were in the Southwest, there was a campaign to return people to Mexico. And many of the people that were returned were people that were born in the United States. The government admits to doing this to about 80 to 100,000 people. Most historians think it's about 500,000. And you've got a video clip that looks at this. It's actually just a continuation of the clip that we watched with the 1920s in Los Angeles. And then you also have a document on your outline. And I'm struck by how similar the document on your outline, the story is to the story that the woman also tells in the film, even though they're different. It's two different women. And then the last bit here, I'm so excited that you get to actually see this film clip because I hadn't been able to find it on my copy. My DVD copy doesn't have subtitles, and the YouTube not helpful. So I found it on Canopy. So now you can actually watch it. I used to just kind of have to like read over it and kind of act it out, which not as fun. So you've got actually, you do have, if you want to kind of read over the screenplay, the script, I've got that on the back of your outline, the key parts of the Salt of Earth. What that is there for is the New Deal. If you were working in industry, the New Deal could be beneficial for you because the New Deal allows for unions. You can go on strike, you can join a union, and you don't have to worry about losing your job, whereas that's something that would have happened previously. Now, again, for many women of color, this isn't going to benefit them. If they're a black woman in the South, they're stuck in domestic service or they're stuck as a sharecropper. So the New Deal isn't going to protect their labor. But if you were a woman who was working in industry, now you could go on strike. You could join a union and not worry about losing your job. And so I love this clip from Salt of the Earth because it looks at women's, I started it, you could actually go back a little bit further, but I didn't want it to be too long. The clip I show is usually about 10 minutes. So it starts with the women in jail because they were striking. They're going to get out though. It was, I can't remember the technicality, they put them on in jail, but then they get released, and then it segues into I love the opening part with her husband because he's complaining, he's doing the laundry and he's complaining about how there's no hot water. And the women have been complaining about how there's no hot water for like ever, and nobody was listening to them. But now that the roles have reversed and the men are having to do the women's jobs, they're like, we need hot water. This is not acceptable. And then as you watch the clip, the last scene is the most like iconic scene from this film, and just really, really powerful. When she goes to tell her husband that the way he's behaving is the old way, and that will never happen again. So I'm excited that you get to see the clip. All right, if you have any questions, you can leave those in the discussion board. Take care.